lab, we're going to analyze how much water is in a solid, or a hydrate in a solid. You'll begin by reviewing the lab report. It's linked in the comments. You want to make sure that all materials are present, as seen in the photo, and compare that to the lab report. Be sure to review the data tables present in the lab report so that you know what to record and when to record it. First, we'll review our setup, and we make sure that we have followed the procedures in the lab. We'll make sure that our Bunsen burner has an inner cone and an outer cone. We have our ring stand set up and our triangle is in place. At this point, we're going to add the crucible and ensure that the lid is present and ajar, but also receiving heat. One of the main reasons why we need to heat the crucible first is to remove any water that may be present from the material from which the crucible is made. While this is heating, we're going to go ahead and record our sample of our copper sulfate. We don't need to record the sample at this time, as the lab report states. We'll worry about recording that mass later. Note that the lab report says to have a sample roughly 2 to 2.5 grams. You'll see that ours is outside of that range, but it's not going to throw anything off. It may just cause us to need to heat it longer. At this point, our crucible is completely heated. We've let it cool to room temperature, and we take our crucible mass. We follow the lab report guidelines and we add our sample to it. From here we have the mass before heating the sample. We'll follow the lab report instructions, and we'll begin to heat the sample. Notice how the flame is not on yet. We don't want to do anything over the open flame. The crucible could slip, the lid could slip, and we don't want to cause an accident here. Once everything is securely in place, we can go ahead and ignite our flame. We heat this for 15 minutes per the lab report guidelines. You'll notice we already have a color change after 15 minutes. We'll follow the lab report guidelines, and the procedures tell us to now let the sample cool, but to make sure that we close the lid. This is important because as it starts to cool, we don't want water from the atmosphere to recontaminate our sample. Now that our sample has completely cooled to room temperature, we'll take the mass of our sample after heating. Now we're going to repeat this step per the lab report procedures. So again, we'll ignite our flame. Then we'll go ahead and add the crucible and put the lid ajar. Notice how this does not necessarily follow safety protocols here. 15 minutes later, again we'll remove from heat. Our flame is off. We'll secure the lid. And we'll let the sample cool to room temperature. Now that our sample is cooled to room temperature, we will again record the mass. We look to have pretty consistent data, but let's go ahead and repeat a third time. We heat for 15 minutes and then we remove from the heat. We allow the sample to cool to room temperature and we record the mass one final time. Be sure to complete the lab report, and thanks for watching.